done for football. I just think that this is just written for him. I think they're going to edge it. It's going to be very close. I don't think there's going to be many goals in this.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, this has become a bit of a home from home for this Argentina side. It's their fourth match here at the Lusail Stadium. The Croatian fans in fantastic voice. A population of 4 million only, but as Peter was talking about earlier in the programme, they managed to put together this incredible side. There's so much talent in that country, and of course Argentina looking for a third World Cup trophy. The last time they won it was 1986. 36 long years waiting for football's greatest prize, and they have a chance to put themselves within touching distance of it. We've got a couple of inspirational captains, then real legends, and of course big team players as well, who'll be looking to play their part in what will certainly be a very interesting 90 minutes of football. But history tells us that this one could go all the way. Okay, you can of course listen in Spanish commentary if you wish, alongside Luis Izquierdo. In English you can listen to Alan Smith, who's alongside Peter Drury. But as the teams now line up, it is time for the national anthems.
أصحاب السمو والمعالي والسعادة السيدات والسادة، يرجى التكرم بالوقوف في حال القدرة لعزف النشيد الوطني في حال القدرة لعزف النشيد الوطني للأرجنتين.
Lijepa Dasha Domovino, our beautiful homeland, the Croatian anthem. And now a first mutual greeting of these nations since Nizhny Novgorod 4.5 years ago. 3 Argentines and 4 Croatians started that World Cup game and start this one too. Well, we have arguably here tonight the 2 keepers of the tournament, and Argentina would of course argue for their penalty stopper, Emi Martinez. They revert to a back 4, so no Lisandro Martinez, and Nicolas Tagliafico replaces the suspended Acuna at left back. Both Leandro Paredes, freshly recalled, and Rodrigo de Paul win their 50th caps, and now no one will have played more World Cup games than Leo Messi. He matches Mateus on 25 and aims to set a new record in the final. Modric and Messi, 5'7", 5'8", two small men, two giant players. The Italian referee Daniele Ossato has overseen both of these nations in tournament football. Argentina on this ground against Mexico 17 days ago. Croatia in the European Championship at Wembley 18 months ago. And the video assistant referee is Massimiliano Errati, also of Italy. Well, Croatia lean heavily, of course, again on their man mounted in goal, Dominik Livakovic, and the back four, of whom three have played every minute of the competition so far. Borna Sosa, the exception, is good to go again. Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, many consider it the midfield of this World Cup. And as in the quarter-final, Mario Pasalic accompanies ever-present Kramaric and Perisic in the front three. Croatia, extraordinarily, have still only started 15 different players in 6 games to this point. Well, tonight a light will go out. Either Modric will lose his 161st game for Croatia, and barring a 40-something fling in 2026, the World Cup will have got away, or Lionel Messi will lose his 171st game for Argentina, and barring an improbable final grab into his dotage 4 years hence, the World Cup for him will have got away. But one of them will win. One of them will be here on Sunday, fingers twitching to handle the trophy. Argentina then for a 6th World Cup final, Croatia for a 2nd in succession. From the South Atlantic to the Adriatic coast, 2 nations parallel in the depth of their passion. So let them at it. What have they got? They have proved that they have got plenty, from flair and personality at one extreme to cussedness at the other. How do you sense it playing out, Alan?
Well, you could just see the tension within some of the players out there. It's a huge occasion, no matter how experienced you are. And who can settle quicker? Who can get a good feel of that ball and try and relax into what you're trying to do?
Sosa, Guardiol, one certainly of the breakthrough players at this competition, a young centre-half who has made his mark and some.
He certainly has, one of the best defenders out here. Might be tough for Leipzig to keep hold of him.
Lovren with the first cheap concession of possession to McAllister.
I mean, Argentina gone to a back four, which allows them to play another midfielder in there to compete with that Croatian unit that can easily dictate the play.
Paul, Romero and Otamendi, and that formational change to which Alan refers means that there is no Lisandro Martinez in there for Argentina tonight. In terms of personnel, his replacement is Leandro Paredes, the only alteration to the quarter-final team. Rodrigo de Paul asking Molina to advance, as he did so willingly last time out, from right wing-back.
Yeah, it's quite a narrow midfield for Argentina. It's a diamond in there, I think. So the likes of Molina on the right, Tagliafico on the other side, they're going to give the width to Argentina.
To Paul. By Romero, seen by Brozovic, protected by Perisic. You can't plot a route around Molina. Right full back is an area where Argentina, over the course of the whole evening, are potentially vulnerable, with Gonzalo Montiel, the alternative in that position, suspended tonight.
Interesting area of the pitch, that. Perisic certainly doesn't switch off. He'll track back on Molina. Who can push who backwards though.
Incidentally, same is true on the left-hand side with Acuna also suffering after 2 yellow cards. Lifted in smartly by De Paul. And a first comfortable gather by Livakovic.
Yeah, a little bit of space in there. Ivanovic maybe had lost sight of him.
Kovacic chugs with such power through midfield. VIPs are in the house. Out by Molina, down by McAllister, welcomed in by Alvarez, taken back by Brozovic. There's Modric, and here is Borna Sosa for Stuttgart from left full-back. Perisic driving at Molina and lifting it up only into the gloves of Martinez. Fernandez. Paredes. And now Messi. De Paul. Fernandez. Messi has made a dash. Yeah, he'd have to dash some to catch that up.
Over anxious there. Actually, one of the rare times Messi's on the last line, trying to get in behind.
And Scaloni looking to emulate Cesar Luis Menotti, 78, Carlos Bilardo, 1986. And tonight, of course, looking to emulate Alex Sabella, who was the last to take them to the World Cup final, albeit without winning it 8 years ago. Well, despite the assault on him, Kovacic kept the ball rolling nicely, and Perisic has dispatched his pass. Pasalic has kept it alive. There's a challenge on the halfway line, which the Croatian players consider secondary to the one which occurred 20 or 30 seconds earlier.
Yeah, I'm just pointing that one out to the ref. The earlier one, that is, trying to get in his head, make sure they get a fair hearing out there.
Paredes. Fernandez. Two previous World Cup meetings between these nations, one back in 1998. Argentina beat Croatia by a goal to nil in Bordeaux. Goal scored by Mauricio Pineda for Daniel Passarella against Miroslav Blažević. Just one of the forerunners of Zlatko Dalic, who we see there. And the other just 4 years ago in Nizhny Novgorod, where Croatia beat Argentina by 3 goals to nil. Modric amongst the scorers then. Both of those were group games, and as it happens, both nations came first and second out of those 2 groups. And on top of that, it's perhaps worth noting one historically very notable meeting at St Jakob Park, Basel in March 2006. A friendly game in which Croatia beat Argentina 3-2. But in the same game, Lionel Messi scored his first international goal and Luka Modric made his international debut. And here they are, one of them potentially signing off tonight.
Yeah, I think we all thought that this Croatia team had reached its peak in Russia in 2018. Only the old stages are still there, but they've rebuilt that defence. Vardiol, the star man really, the youngster next to Lovren. And the coach has made a really tight unit.
Vardiol, kept by Kramaric, shifted on by Kovacic. Sosa exchanging with Perisic.
I think it's fair to say Kramaric closing down there. They haven't found a replacement for Mandzukic yet. Kramaric really, in recent seasons, he likes to drop a little further back rather than be the out-and-out centre forward, but he is a good poacher, he's a good finisher, Kramaric.
Croatia have got this far on the margins. It is a curiosity that out of 5 games so far they've only won 1 against Canada inside 90 minutes. Perisic flung it in.
Not bad
by Romero.
Not a bad throw, that's a good weapon.
Particularly, I suppose, Alan, in the light of what we saw from the Netherlands against Argentina in the last 10 minutes the other night. Their potential vulnerability to something a bit simpler and straighter.
Yeah, it's not always the worst option.
Vardiol. Sosa.
Argentina doing the best with that tight 4-man midfield to outnumber Croatia in the middle of the park.
Modric, Brozovic, Perisic. Kovacic, Brozovic, Kovacic, Kramaric, Sosa.
Saw there the confidence of the Croatia players in tight spaces. They're more than happy, the likes of Brozovic, Kovacic, to take the ball when there's a man close by, and they worked it through there in a really clever fashion.
Sosa bypasses to Paul, drives it against the back of Paredes. Perisic, Sosa. Through by Vardiol, nicked away by Romero, moved on by Paredes, taken up by McAllister. Fernandez in advance of him. He went careering into Modric, and he's got himself a free kick.
Argentina trying to break on Croatia. I don't think they're going to leave themselves short on the counter when they do lose the ball. They're so well organised. McAllister's got that job at the forward point of the midfield diamond, trying to find those pockets of space where he can turn and maybe look for Messi.
Juranovic herring out from the right full-back berth. Fernandes has it back, and now there is a gap in that position. Alvarez. Fernandes coming together on the edge of the penalty area. Messi appealing vainly to the Italian official.
Yeah, thought Guardiola fouled him there. Ref was close by. Had a decent view, it seemed.
Of course, an inch or two the other side of the line, it would be subject to VAR inspection, but outside of the penalty area, that is not the case. Lovren looking ambitiously long. Juranovic was sprinting forward from full-back, and he very nearly connected with that diagonal.
Yeah, that was the little clash up the other end. But Juranovic can motor when he gets going, as we saw there. It's a really good attempt to try and find him from Lovren.
In by Juranovic towards Perisic, who won the first header. Out by Otamendi. First to it is Sousa. Brozovic of Inter Milan. Kovacic of Chelsea. Guardiola of Leipzig.
Be a really frustrating team to play against Croatia, because they do keep the ball so well. They know what they're about.
Modric. Juranovic, he's got a corner.
Decent start from Croatia, this, working the ball forward patiently but effectively at times.
The taker is the arch-conjurer and captain, Luka Modric. Guardiola has marched forward. Kovacic went to meet it. Modric. Juranovic. Hung up by Juranovic towards Lovren.
Yeah, that had the look of something that may have been rehearsed, that short corner, with Juranovic joining it late on.
There's a clash of heads there. Otamendi on the receiving end. Actually, Otamendi and Romero had a piece of each other's. Of course, globally there is a sense around this game that the would-be fairy tale could be Lionel Messi and a farewell fling at the World Cup final, but over the course of recent history it ought not to be overlooked. What a fairy tale Croatia remain, a nation of less than 4 million people, in major footballing terms, still barely a quarter of a century old. They hit the international scene big time at Euro 96 in England, their first major tournament, and here they are, a pretty small nation on the edge of Europe, within reach of a second consecutive World Cup final. It is a remarkable achievement. Sousa and Kramaric.
They don't look intimidated by the occasion at all.
Modric's pass picked off by Paredes, who then ran into congestion himself. Here's Sousa.
Well, his team having slightly more of the ball, and looking more threatening at the moment.
He who said yesterday, we are amongst the best 4 teams in the world. That is an extraordinary success for Croatia, and who can argue with that? Messi As so often outnumbered 3-1, but as so often still coming up with the ball.
Yeah, he was just getting in the ref's ear in that break of play. Messi, I think he was talking about that Guardiola challenge on him on the edge of the box, perhaps. Feeling it was a foul.
McAllister caught on it by Modric. Shifted forward hurriedly for Kovacic.
Hits a wall there.
Lovren. Showed it to Alvarez. Here's Fernandez.
It's noticeable with Argentina, Lionel Messi not dropping in as much as he has in previous matches. He's staying up a bit closer to Alvarez on that last line.
Molina. Step Brozovic. Perisic is wide of him. Kramaric is through the middle. Sousa. Kovacic. Sousa allowed it to bobble out.
It's always easier work with the ball than without, and Croatia got the ability to make Scaloni's men chase, work. Take some energy from those legs.
Since losing to the Saudis first up, Argentina have scored the first 2 goals in each of their 4 most recent games. They've held that 2-0 lead both against Mexico and Poland. Australia gave them a scare after getting back to 2-1, and the Netherlands gave them more than a scare after getting back to 2-2. And here they are, still alive. Messi. Otamendi. Fernandez. Tagliafico. Paredes. De Paul. Messi. Alvarez. Lionel Messi. Looking to fiddle it through. It's fiddled away for Kovacic. He had it nicked off his toe by Paredes.
Yeah, he did get a little clip on the way, which slowed him down. You saw Messi there just injecting a bit of pace into Argentina's attack. That's been the story of their tournament so far. That's when things have changed for Argentina.
Guardiola has given it away to Messi. And you don't want to be doing that.
Caught him by surprise, maybe. A rare mistake from Guardiola.
Dominik Livakovic, more than just the penalty saves, key stops during the game against Brazil from Richarlison and Paqueta and Casemiro deep into stoppage time. 11 saves he made in the quarter-final, and that is before you get to the penalty kicks. by Sousa. Back by Romero. Lovren's under it. Juranovic. Modric. Pasalic. Brozovic. Sousa. Perisic outside of him. Guardiol. Fernandes now for Molina. Messi. De Paul. Paredes. Fernandes. Tagliafico's on the gallop here. It's Nicolas Tagliafico. He lofts it into space, occupied only by Sousa.
Yeah, Lionel Messi had just hung out. He showed no sign of trying to get in the box.
Paredes. McAllister. Fernandes. Vakovic was sprawling. And Perisic clears.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating start for Argentina, and they're just trying to step it up now, have more of a say in the attacking half.
First on-target attempt of the night from Enzo Fernandez, but here's Kovacic for Croatia. Fernandez, of course, scored on this ground, that beauty against Mexico. And back at the end of last month. To Paul. Stopped by Guardiol. Perisic, Sousa. Lovren's got a bit of time. Brozovic sees Juranovic. Fernandes. McAllister. De Paul. Messi. Nicked off his toe.
Oh, brilliant.
Sweet pirouette from Kovacic. He's clear of De Paul. Kramaric. He's got a free kick, and Argentina, truth be told, will settle for that.
Well, Kovacic has started this match superbly with his ball carrying, his vision.
That's the Fernandes shot.
Livakovic made a little bit of a mess of that. He must have known it was going wide, but he wanted to try and collect it.
Well, this could very easily appeal to Ivan Perisic. He's walked away from the scene. Sousa could offer his left boot to it, or of course Luka Modric could conjure something. Sousa over it. Modric nicks it in. Out by Paredes. Messi threatening to get his fingers burned, but he got away with it. Moved on hurriedly by Molina, who's not stopped here. And De Paul has flung it in long towards Alvarez. And look who was back in the centre-half position. Only 37-year-old, 5'7", Luka Modric.
Does he ever slow up? Does he ever lose his fitness? This lad, 37, as you say. What a professional.
Paredes, McAllister.
Maybe the only time so far that Croatia have threatened to get caught, a little outnumbered.
Fico working it with Fernandez, but the pass is errant. This is as close as they've been. Mendy's header out. Thrown back by Pasalic. Modric. Brozovic. Cross into which he could momentarily run. And he was very close to getting himself a bonus corner there. Martinez met it just in time.
Yeah, he had to get his feet moving there, Martinez. He knew it was going to be a corner. But every time they get a throw from this kind of distance towards goal, they go for the short one on this occasion. Twice they've gone for the longer one.
Brozovic, Tagliafico at his back. Bloody old Kovacic, Brozovic. Neatly done by Modric. Kramaric. Pasalic. Kovacic. It's a lovely thought, and he wants a corner.
Thought it was, but don't they move the ball beautifully, Croatia, starting with a nutmeg from Modric. Does seem to click off the Molina, is it? No, De Paul.
Ivan Perisic, who of course scored at England's expense in the semi-final last time round, and then again at France's in the final. Here is Julian Alvarez! Hooked away by Lovren. The referee has pointed at the spot. Livakovic is in the book, and Argentina have a penalty.
Well, where did that come? They've been so solid defensively, Croatia. All of a sudden you could drive the coach and horses through the middle of that defence. Got to be careful here. But it seemed that Alvarez had made a mess of it. But there's no question that Livakovic came through and took out the striker after he tried to chip the keeper. It's a good early ball. And he doesn't quite connect with it, Alvarez. Livakovic spreads himself. Well, is it more the question of the forward going into the keeper than anything else? I don't think there was any forward movement from Livakovic. So he might be a little unfortunate if VAR upholds the referee's decision, because he didn't actually plough into the striker. He held his ground, really, tried to make himself big.
Well, this is such familiar territory, of course, for Lionel Messi, who scored from the spot on this ground against Saudi Arabia, who failed to score against Poland at Stadium 974, who scored twice from the spot in all against the Netherlands just the other day, but who is more accustomed to the spotlight than any other man in world football. Lionel Messi embraces his moment again and stares into the eyes of another World Cup final.
Well, that's how to take a penalty, isn't it? Move for the net with power. Pretty unstoppable. Let's have a look again. Livakovic, I think he's unlucky. Really unlucky, the keeper. But having got the decision, Messi punishes his opponents ruthlessly. They'd hardly threatened the Croatia goal.
Lionel Messi, 11 World Cup goals in a record equalling 25 World Cup games. He has one more now than Gabriel Batistuta. He is by himself at the top of Argentina's list. He is alongside Kylian Mbappe at the top of this tournament's list with 5. He scored against the Saudis, he scored against Mexico, he scored against Australia, he scored against the Netherlands, and now he scores against Croatia. And Argentina have the advantage 10 minutes out from half-time.
Yeah, the whole Argentina bench celebrated, but they didn't make the mistake of running on the pitch like they did against the Netherlands. And they thought effectively the game was won. There's a long way to go in this one. Croatia came back on Brazil when Brazil got the opener. They won't change the game. Croatia keep on picking and probing.
Fernandez, Alvarez. Messi in pursuit, Lovren back. It's a remarkable fact, and it plays into what you're saying, Alan, about their refusal ever to surrender. Croatia at this competition have yet to score the opening goal in any game. 2 goalless games, of course, but in the group stage they fell behind to the quickest goal of the tournament against Canada. They trailed to Japan, and as you say, they trailed very late to Brazil. Modric. Out by Romero, Messi and Alvarez combining. Sosa getting back to nick it off the little man's toe.
Well, they've been up against it, Argentina, having to do a lot of chasing, but when you get a decision like that, maybe you start to feel your name's on the trophy.
Kramaric for Perisic, set back for Kovacic. Sosa. Clear by Fernandez. Taken back by Kovacic. As Croatia look to step it up. Lovren. Juranovic. Croatia's corner. The Argentine noise and the kaleidoscopic Argentine colour is quite something to experience. It is an assault on one's senses. Modric for Brozovic. Messi looks to nick it clear, and nick it clear he has. And Alvarez is on his way. And he is not alone. And he keeps on ploughing. Julian Alvarez!
It looked like he would be stopped on a couple of occasions. He's almost stumbled through a couple of challenges. Maybe he didn't think he'd be able to go all the way here. But Croatia do get caught here. They do get caught short. There they could have cleared it. There they could have cleared it. But he bounces back into his path. And this time, the connection is a sure one. This time, Livakovic has got no chance to interject. What a big goal that might be for Argentina. Alvarez is the man.
And for the 5th game in a row, Argentina have a 2-0 lead. How safe is this one? This determined Croatian side has to find a way to react.
Yeah, big ask for a team that's not full of goals. Defensively, they've been really sound in this tournament, but there it was so loose and sloppy.
Messi for Fernandez. Fernandez at Juranovic. Set back here for McAllister. And now De Paul. Rodrigo De Paul, that's got a deflection. It's come off Guardiola and it's behind for an Argentine corner.
Yeah, all over the place at the moment, Croatia. The heads are spinning. They've been hit in quick succession. Comes off his arm, but it's down by his side. Can't be giving that. Can't blame him for asking, though.
By the way, in that succession of 2-0 leads that they have had, Alvarez now has 3 times scored the second goal. De Paul wanted a bit more than the corner. He's not going to get it. In by Messi, and brilliantly turned aside by Livakovic.
What a save this was. Superb by the big keeper.
McAllister's downward header, and an astonishing reaction with a split second to adjust from Dominic Livakovic.
Well, this game's been turned on its head, hasn't it? Croatia had a real stranglehold on possession, had more of the ball. Argentina were struggling to gain a foothold. All of a sudden, they're 2 up.
Messi's delivery, Livakovic gets knuckles on it. And for every romantic thought on behalf of Lionel Messi, there must be a dark reflection on behalf of Luka Modric, because his number 10 jersey is absolutely as esteemed in his country as Messi's is in his. This is a long way from being a one-man game.
Gosh, I think Croatia just want to hear that half-time whistle blow. It's been a punishing last 10 minutes of this first half.
They are such a robust side since they were knocked out of the European Championships last summer by Spain in Copenhagen. They have suffered just 1 defeat in the last 21 games. 11 unbeaten since that one and only defeat. But they are right up against it now. But if you were to stereotype, if you were to characterise in broad brush terms, and if you were after one nation who has a thick enough collective skin, a hard enough belief in itself that it could turn it round, then perhaps you would choose Croatia as that nation. Souza, Kovacic, Kramaric, Perisic, Kramaric, Luka Modric, crashes back out of Otamendi, Juranovic, Pasalic.
Well, they get the next goal, it's all to play for, isn't it, if Croatia can get it. A little deflection, nearly catching Martinez out.
There's an uppercut into the chin of Otamendi.
Maybe the comforting thing for Argentina is that they haven't had to depend on Messi in this first half. Alvarez has been central. Wins the penalty, gets the second. He's always having a little chat to the ref.
Well, they say that one of the things that has enhanced his bond with Argentina's people, particularly over the course of this tournament, has been his evident preparedness to be a bit feisty. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Win whatever it takes.
Yeah, we saw him give Louis van Gaal a little piece of his mind, Veg. Hurst as well.
Molina to Paul. Messi to Paul, caught on it. Perisic shifting it. Messi tackling back. Tagliafico. That's an interesting ball for Alvarez.
Yeah, held his position there. The striker did well to stay onside. No, he didn't stay onside. I thought he did.
Souza. Kramaric. Liftily clear of De Paul. Kramaric. Perisic. That's harmless.
He's just looking a bit dejected, Perisic, at the moment. But he would not be denied, would he? Yes, he gets a bit of good fortune, not once but twice. He makes sure he makes the most of it.
And even a Brazilian is prepared to applaud. Ronaldinho, once the greatest of his age. Kovacic caught in the traffic. Paredes, Messi. No one defter through congestion than him. Half time as the great man takes a break, and partly because of him, Argentina are most of the way to the World Cup final. The final act is barely significant. His act was to convert a penalty 10 minutes before the 45, and then to watch as Alvarez ploughed through the middle and added a second goal 5 minutes later. And as a result of that, at half-time in the semi-final, it's Argentina 2, Croatia 0.
Well, a 5-minute flurry of first half goals, the first scored by him, Lionel Messi, and it looks like the Argentine dream is on to reach this final. Of course, plenty to ponder for Croatia. What can they do in this second half? They've got to come back now and score at least 2 goals to try and force this game into extra time. Okay, I'm going to chat through all the incidents and get all the talking points in the break. We'll speak to you after that.
Look who we are the dreamers, we make it happen, guess we believe it. Look who we are.